and add my welcome to everyone. Wow, it's pretty far back there in the back. Hi there in the back. So I want to add my welcome to everyone from the marketing organization that's here in person, especially those that traveled a long way to be here, and I want to welcome the folks that are online as well. Add to what Alex said, it's very exciting for me. This is a way to kick off the year that I derive a lot of energy and excitement from, and I want to reiterate that we want to hear from you, the folks that are here from all around the world, your perspectives and your area of marketing, your insight that you bring from different countries around the world is critically important to our success, and a big part of this conference is hearing from that feedback. So I look forward to a lot of the conversations that we're going to have over the next few days. So what I want to spend a few minutes talking to you about this morning is how we're embracing more of an outside-in perspective, learning more from our customers and how we do sales and marketing, and how we're going to use that insight to help drive increased growth for the company, particularly in that systems business opportunity that Alec talked about. And in fact, this embracing of outside-in perspective is something that marketing has been taking the lead on and doing for the last couple of years. And now, as you heard, it's really going to be a major front and center part of our strategy as a company. I want to show you some examples of that. Click. Okay, so a book that I'm reading right now, I'm actually just finishing, is the latest book from Thomas Friedman. So he's the guy that wrote The World is Flat. Probably a few of you have read that book. And the book's called Thank You for Being Late. And the kind of core theme, most business books can be boiled down to one slide. So I'll do you a favor and just boil it down for you. The core theme of the book, it's about keeping up in business and in society in an age of exponential technology progression. Sounds familiar, right? And it's really about the way that you can embrace these technology progressions and succeed in the world that we find ourselves in. And the core concept of the book is actually in that picture that apparently the head of Google X drew for Friedman when he was researching the book. And the simple concept, the pace of technology is exceeding many of our abilities personally, from a government and society point of view, from an organizational point of view, our ability to change and adapt to address that change in technology. And at NI, as a high technology company, Moore's law of progression affects us in ways. In many ways, it is the foundation that's created the market opportunity for our company. Right? The progression of these technologies has enabled NI and our platform to disrupt a bunch of established markets. At the same time, we've also had to keep up, right? So we have to constantly reinvent ourselves and reinvent our platform. That's why we invest so much in R&D, to keep up with all of these underlying technologies that are changing faster and faster. And in the world of marketing, it affects us because, as Alec mentioned, the world of communication changed dramatically over the last decade. And so in addition to our platform changing, we have to react and change based on the underlying change of the way that we reach our customers. And so in the book, he talks about kind of, we're right here. And I think a lot of us feel that challenge and that pressure of being at a point where it's just getting more and more difficult to keep up with the pace of change. He also, in the book, Friedman talks about, well, the only way to address it is actually to create more adaptability and more innovation in your organization and in yourselves, because you're not going to change the curve of technology. It reminds me, some of you were around when Jeff Kadowski spoke a few years ago at NI Week about the technology treadmill. Folks remember that talk from Jeff K? And it was really about the same idea, that the only way we're creating challenges in the world so fast, and the only way to address them is actually to innovate just as fast as those challenges are coming up. So we have the same challenge, and I'll challenge all of us as we go through Mix to embrace this adaptability and understand that we're going to have to be constantly evolving. And I think that's the exciting part about being in a fast-moving technology industry. So let me give you a dimension of that change, and Alex showed this just a minute ago. This is one dimension of change that we've seen in our business at National Instruments. this growth in the systems business. How many people were around in the year 2000? Let me see a show of hands. How many people were at NI, not around like you lived in the... That's probably all of us, right? Okay, so quite a few people were here in the year 2000, National Instruments. Well, in the year 2000, that systems business was less than 20% of our business. It was a pretty small part. PXI, Compact Rio hadn't come out yet. PXI was quite small. The value proposition we had to our customers was completely different from what we have today. It's now, this systems business is over 50% and growing. So do you think the same mix of tactics and strategies in marketing that we used in 2000 will work in 2017? It's a real question. Some of them will, but many will not, and certainly not to the same degree, right? So we have to evolve to be able to tell the value proposition at a different customer expectations than we had 17 years ago or 5 or 10 years ago, for that matter. Now, we have a tough challenge, because as we evolve and grow our capabilities to meet this growing part of our business, we have to have just as much innovation in the broad base of our business as well. A different type of innovation, but innovation nonetheless. And this actually falls, frankly, disproportionately to the marketing organization, because it's marketing that has to get the scale to reach the broad base, because this is representing hundreds of thousands of customers, hundreds of thousands of orders, and it's marketing that has to drive the efficiency in the way we interact with these customers to be able to scale it and be very transactionally efficient. So we have to innovate on both sides of this, efficiency and scale in the broad base, to free up resources to drive the growth in the systems business. And that's the challenge we have in front of us. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to evolve the way that we think about demand generation, and particularly the demand generation handshake that we've talked a lot about between marketing and sales. So this is how we've traditionally looked at that handshake, right? Marketing creates a bunch of activities which create inquiries for those to create marketing qualified leads to pass off to sales to follow up. We've really honed our service level agreements and handshake in this area over the last couple of years. Sales tries to generate opportunities or quotes or visits, and that ultimately results in revenue. And this has been a part of our demand generation machine for decades, right? And it continues to be, and it's an important part and an area where certainly the handshake to the capacity that we have in sales, and particularly lead qualifiers and inside sales, is a really important part of the demand handshake. But I'm also here to tell you that as we have grown and scaled over that chart that I just showed, this has become a smaller and smaller part of the demand generation handshake in sales. And we have to recognize that, and we have to look at this more holistically. If we think that 90% of what we do is represented in the leads handshake, we'll make the wrong decisions. So one thing we're going to talk a lot about, and you'll see multiple times as a repeated image as we go through Mix, is this view, which is a more holistic view of the handshake of demand between marketing and sales. Now you'll notice one thing you may have noticed, you're a pretty smart crowd, I reversed the arrows. So one concept here is being more driven by our results. So in this case, we're starting with what are the results we want to achieve? What's the revenue we want to achieve? And to achieve that revenue, what is the pipeline in quotes and in opportunities that the sales organization needs to achieve that revenue? And then backing from that, what are the different dimensions of demand generation that result in that pipeline? And sure, leads is part of it, but so are inbound calls and other marketing activity that's not represented in the lead pipeline. For example, we do an on-site event to a set of key users at Intel, and then later the sales organization is having a conversation with those users, and they say, hey, I was at that 5G on-site that you did, and it turns out that I actually have an opportunity to use that technology. That doesn't come through a lead pipeline, but it's influenced by, in that case, an event that marketing and sales did together. So you're going to see more about this, and you're going to hear more about this, and I want our whole team to really understand this model so we can have a common understanding of the different dimensions that we're going to be measuring and how marketing influences sales pipeline, and we can have a more holistic view of this handshake that includes leads, but also includes the other elements of how marketing influences the the sales organization and drives the results of the company. Now, I said I'd talk about outside-in perspective, and a couple of weeks ago, Alec invited in the CEO of Analog Devices, Vincent Roche, to speak to the officer team. And it was a great talk. He had a lot of really compelling things that we really aligned to, or we were very representative of challenges we faced. He talked about their customers needing systems that were closer to their end needs and how they were evolving from purely just providing a set of products to understanding the context and the systems that their customers need. One of the themes that stuck with most, though, was his concept of moving from more of an inside-out perspective to an outside-in perspective and creating more outside-in thinking in their company, really deepening their understanding of key markets and opportunities, key applications, and the voice of their customers and how they develop their products and also how they went to market through marketing and sales. And I see this as a tremendous opportunity. And I want to share with you a couple different dimensions of how I see this outside-in perspective evolving the way that we approach marketing and sales overall. And the first is really about the voice of our customer and a deeper understanding of our customer in the way that we position our platform and go to market. So we've always led with our products and our platform, and we're going to continue to. But we're going to strengthen our understanding of our customers and their needs in the way that we position those products and position our platform to solve the needs of our customers. And I want to emphasize that this does not have to be an either-or decision. We can talk about the value of our platform in the context of our customers' needs and make our marketing more effective. We can talk about a key technology like FPGAs, but framed in a way where a test audience can understand the value in improving test time. And in doing so, we actually increase the effectiveness of that marketing message. And we've certainly done some of that, but I'm going to challenge us to drive harder and harder to connect. After all, that's a foundational role of the marketing organization. Connect between our platform and our customers and the markets we serve and the needs of those customers and deepen our understanding of those needs. So we've been on a journey, and we're going to continue on this journey to increase the understanding throughout our organization of our customers and their needs and use it to strengthen our marketing and our sales. We've actually, as I mentioned in the beginning, marketing has in some ways led some of this transformation. Several years ago, we started with campaigns that were aligned around audience segments, testers and designers and maintenance managers, right? Really formalizing the way that we were doing marketing planning to map between the benefits of our products and what it means and putting it in the language and the care-abouts of key personas within markets that we wanted to increase our opportunity in. The work we're doing at NI.com, digital transformation, you're going to hear more about mix, and that's also fundamentally about embracing an outside-in perspective and increasing customer intimacy. We're going to change the way, hey, good timing, John Pasquarette. Look at that. Every time you say NI.com, he just pops right up. It's amazing. Where was I? We're going to organize our products. One of the things many of you are familiar with is the work on product taxonomy, and it's about organizing our products not from an inside-out perspective, not how we think it's logical to organize our products, but organizing them in the way that our customers think makes sense and helps them find it and solve some of those challenges that Alex showed on the customer satisfaction survey. And we're going to use data. Part of what we're doing is instrumenting our website so that we can use the huge amount of data we get from browsing patterns of our customers and create a more nimble architecture so that we can change over time. If people are having difficulty finding things and we see that in the data, we can make a change. And again, we will rely on that data to drive our decisions, not just our own opinions of the way our product should be organized. So that's a foundational transformation that I think is really critical. And then finally, one that I'll spend a little bit more time on, and Alec alluded to it, is the transformation around customer portfolio management, which is really about organizing ourselves around our customers and creating the right people, process, and portfolio to align to our customers and the opportunity in different segments of our customers. So how many people have seen this picture? Good job, Francis. We got pretty good. I don't know if we've gotten 1 million impressions yet, but we're getting there. You're going to see this